District 1?
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. It's great to see so many people here on this beautiful fall day, although it still feels like summer. Patrice Horseman, I am the supervisor for District 1.
District 2 is not going to be with us this evening. District 3?
Good evening, Adam Hess, District 3.
District 4, Judy Begay, County Board Supervisor. District 5? District 5?
Supervisor Fowler.
We'll go ahead and just move on to the Pledge of Allegiance. At this time,
Chair Begay, members of the board, I
Yeah.
do apologize for interrupting. I believe Supervisor Vasquez is online.
okay,
Just wanted you to know that, our District 2 representatives.
okay.
So, Supervisor Vasquez, if you are online and able to announce, please do so.
Good afternoon, everyone. Geronimo Vasquez, Supervisor, District 2.
Thank you, Supervisor
Thank you.
Vasquez.
Supervisor Fowler, can you unmute as well and test yours?
Hi, this is Lena, the supervisor for District 5. I can barely hear you all. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We hear you. Can you hear us?
Barely.
Because we're all using our mics and we're real close to the mic. So you may need
Oh.
to try to do whatever you can to turn it up there.
Great,
Not sure
thank
we
you.
can turn it up more. Thank you. Thanks for being on.
Thank you, board members, for all being here today. So at this time, we'll do the call to the public. We will now have call to the public to allow for any comments from the public. Please note that issues presented during the call to the public that are not on the agenda cannot be acted on by the Board of Supervisors. For items not on the agenda, individual supervisors may ask questions of the public, but are prohibited by open meeting law from discussing or considering that item. Only the speaker who has been called upon is authorized to speak. To encourage and to respect expressions of all views, we ask that there are no disruptions. Individuals are limited to 3 minutes for their comment. Clerk Daly will explain how the public can provide comments.
Thank you, Chair Begay. At this time, if there is anyone here in the room that would like to provide public comment, we have comment cards on the table by the door, or you can make your way up to the podium. If you've joined us virtually by Zoom, you can hit the raise hand icon that will appear if you hover towards the bottom of your screen. It looks like a hand. You click on that, that will raise your hand and notify us you would like to speak. Or if you've joined by telephone, you can hit *9 and that will raise your hand and notify us that you would like to speak. And at this time, Chair Begay, we do not have any hands raised on the virtual format and no comment cards for in-person comment.
Thank you, Lindsay. We do have a consent agenda. All matters under consent agenda are considered to be routine and will be enacted by a single motion. Are there any items that the board members want to consider separately?
Madam Chair.
Supervisor Horseman?
I would like to separate items number 14 and 15 from the consent agenda.
Madam Chair?
Supervisor Fowler?
Yes, number 15, please.
Okay, we have 14 and 15 already. Okay. So we do have consent agenda items here. And now number 14 and 15 will be considered separately. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so
Third.
we have how many? 16 items, and 14, 15 will be taken off for consideration at this time.
Oh.
So all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 14.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes, go ahead, Supervisor.
I just thought this was an important item for for the public to be aware of and for us to get more information on our King Street Campus Improvement Project for the youth center, which is exciting. And I just thought the community should be aware of how we're moving forward on this.
Thank you, Vice Chair, Chair Begay and Supervisors. I believe that Michelle Axland, HHS Director, and Tara from Facilities are both on, and Tara Clifton, and they can both, actually, I would like to have both of them speak to the project and where this is for the Youth Behavioral Health Facility. So I don't know if I think Michelle is pulled over and Tara, so whoever wants to go first, thank you.
I can go first if that's okay with Chair Begay and the Board of Supervisors.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair Begay, and thank you Supervisor Horstman and Supervisor Fowler. We're super excited about this process moving forward and are very grateful to the board for allowing this to happen. This is our new youth center that we are working on, our new youth behavioral center. We're super excited that it is moving forward, and that is thanks to the board for granting the funding to allow this to happen. Facilities has been amazing in making this connection work, and we have a beautiful building that we'll be able to show you later. On October 22nd, HHS will be presenting to the board some of our programs, and we will be highlighting this in more detail at that time. I'll turn it over to Tara.
Thank you, Michelle. Hi, Supervisor Begay and members of the board. Yeah, and we are in a good position where we have contracted with KCS to be our CMAR construction manager for the project. And I have Jeff Stein here with me. He's our construction manager at Facilities Management. And we're anticipating moving forward and breaking ground pretty soon. And this CMAR project is for pre-construction services. And then we will later engage with them to get the full construction contract in place. And we are excited to move forward, and thank you for your support.
Thank you for the presentation. Do I have any supervisors that might like to comment? Supervisor Horstman?
Yes, and please keep us informed. This is a very exciting project for our community and the youth in our community, and just so pleased to see it kind of coming finally to fruition. It's starting to sound very real. And the new youth behavioral health facility is something I know that our whole community is looking forward to bringing to fruition, and just let us know when it proceeds. Do we have a date on when they think they will actually start construction and when they think construction will be completed?
We're at 60% plans right now.
Yeah, Supervisor Horstman, this is Tara Clifton from Facilities Management. I have Jeff Stein with me, the construction manager. He can speak to that.
Thank you.
Chair, members of the board, right now we are at 60% plans with DLR Architects, and we are moving forward with once KCS's contract is approved under the CMAR delivery method, they'll come on, give us estimates, we'll finalize the design, and we anticipate at this point completing construction documents in January, and then we will commence the permit process. We're looking to break ground on this project on the Youth Behavioral Health Center in the spring of 25. And our estimated end of construction is December of calendar year 25.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
And Vice Chair, if I could just add, just as the reminder, this funding was ARPA funds that the board approved quite some time ago when we were in the process of that. And this is seeing those funds going to our youth behavioral health to fruition. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
And go ahead, Supervisor Fowler.
Thank you. Thank you, Kim. Yeah, I know you worked on this and started this project with your team when you were the director. And thank you, Michelle, and all those that have put this program together. I know we've been in discussion about it for some time, and it's really good to hear that it's moving forward. So thank you for all your work that you're doing. Thank you. Look forward to having it open.
Supervisor Horseman.
Well, if there aren't any other comments.
Okay, I'd just like to say thank you so much. You know, we need all the programs that can be used by people that our constituents, you know, if we're to better serve them out there, behavioral health, whatever it may be, you know, we need all the services. And I just want to say thank you to the staff, you know, for really looking out for everyone here within the county. So thank you again. But with that, is there a motion?
If I may.
Go ahead.
And I'm going to read it just because I think it's important for the community to know. I make a motion to award RFQ number 2025-100 for the construction manager at risk King Street Campus Improvement Project to Kinney Construction Company and approve an independent contractor agreement for pre-construction phase service contract with Kinney Construction Company from the date of execution through June 30th, 2025 in the amount of $93,546.
There's a second.
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 Okay, motion made and there's a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 15, consideration possible action to approve intergovernmental agreement with Kane County Sheriff's Office, City of Kanab, Town of Fredonia, City of Page, Town of Bigwater, Utah, through the Marshal to provide mutual aid with respect to law enforcement. And this was pulled by Supervisor Fowler.
Yes, thank you. And thank you for pulling that also, Supervisor Horseman. This is such an important agreement. And I wanted to just have the sheriff talk a little bit about it. We had to do some work at the legislators to get it, allow us to actually have mutual aid agreements. And our sheriff and his team really worked hard on this, and it's so important. And I thought it'd be very important for our community just to understand the relationship it takes to be able to keep our communities safe. So I see our sheriff there, and thank you so much for joining us, Sheriff. Thank you.
Sheriff, you may proceed.
Sheriff, I can't hear you.
Okay. All right. To talk about the benefits that these kinds of agreements will provide. As Supervisor Fowler stated, we worked a long time with the governor's office as well as the Arizona State Legislature to craft and get this bill passed. It ran into a lot of obstacles in that last session, and Chief Deputy Brett Axland and I spent a lot of wheel time between here and Phoenix and going to the legislature to committee after to committee to get their support for this. These agreements, I think, are essential, and what was important was to have your support while we did this, because we certainly have a voice down there, but when we added our board, I think it certainly made a significant difference as to the value that this would provide. These agreements ultimately will save lives, allowing us to request the assistance of another state's law enforcement to come into our state is important. Utah had this law that allowed for us to go into Utah to help them on emergencies. Arizona did not. And what we essentially did was craft a law that allowed for sheriffs in Arizona to request the law enforcement assistance from an adjacent state to come in during emergencies to provide that assistance, because none of us have the staffing, especially in our remote areas, that will provide adequate response to these emergencies. So it certainly made a tremendous difference. And this will, again, save lives on both sides of our borders, not just within our own county alone. So we appreciate the board's support, as well as the work from the governor's office and the legislature in having these agreements passed. Any questions at all?
Thank you, Sheriff. I just want to say, Madam Chair, that these communities are right along the Arizona Strip, and the relationship is so important between Kane County and Coconino County in all services, but especially when it comes to an emergency response. And this is the area where many of our search and rescues take place, and the response is usually from our sheriffs, search and rescue from both counties, not just Coconino. So just want to just add that on. Thank you so much for all your work and just really creating a educational campaign with the state legislators and having the governor help us with it. Thank you.
Supervisor Horstman?
Yes, and I'm so pleased that this finally did in fact pass. It's nice when sanity prevails down south, and this is a perfect example of that. You know, this mutual aid in respect to law enforcement is absolutely essential for the health, safety, and welfare of our residents and those that literally live across the street in a different jurisdiction. So pleased about this, and thank you, Sheriff, and for you and your staff for the advocacy that you all had on this, and certainly a big thank you to the governor of Arizona on this as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Supervisor Hess?
Yeah, I agree with everything that was stated. When I was looking at our agenda and I spotted this, I was like, whoa, that's huge. This is something that is so important for those people in those areas that you just discussed. And it's amazing you guys got it done. Thank you for pushing that hard as you did to make sure we got that taken care of. That's a testament to your career. That's what you've just done and what you continue to do. And I'm very impressed. Thank you, Chief.
Only took 2 years.
Hey, it's fast, right?
Thank you. Thank you, Sheriff, for the presentation. And with partnerships, we can do anything. Just like what we had a meeting today with Mr. Cosby and also Tom O'Halloran. They were here today with their staff and, all the partnerships, to do flood mitigation. I think that was something that, we're very proud of, and all the help that people are wanting to, bring to our Coconino County. So just thank you so much. And with that, I'd like to ask for a motion on this. Supervisor Fowler, do you have any comments? Or motion?
I move that we approve.
Okay, motion made by Supervisor Fowler. Is there a second?
Be happy to second that.
Second by Patrice Horstman. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we are done with our consent agenda. May I have a motion to resolve as the Health District Board of Directors?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion made and there's a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. We have items 17 through 22. Are there any items under the Public Health District consent agenda that the board would like to consider separately?
If not, I would make a motion to approve the consent agenda, items 17 through 22 as presented.
Motion made by Supervisor Horstman. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Supervisor Hess. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. May I have a motion to resolve as a Board of Supervisors?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Supervisor Hess, second by Supervisor Horstman. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. So action items, we have item number 23. We have several on the agenda here. So for item number 23, discussion and possible action to accept the tender of resignation of William Ring from the elected position of Coconino County Attorney's.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Madam Chair, we did receive a letter from our County Attorney, William Ring, on a resignation. I know he's on the agenda later, and I am going to be making some comments on that later, and hopefully he'll have an opportunity to make some comments on that other agenda item. So with that understanding, I would at this time make a motion to accept the resignation of William Ring from the elected position of Coconino County Attorney.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Supervisor Horstman, seconded by Supervisor Hess. All in favor, say aye.
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 Sorry, Madam Chair, aye.
Okay, and motion carries. Item number 24, consideration and possible action to appoint Alman Barker as county attorney to complete the remainder of term of office vacated by William Ring, for the dates October 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024. Supervisor Horstman.
Yes, at this time, I would in fact make the motion to appoint Ammon Barker as county attorney to complete the remainder of the term vacated by William Ring for the dates October 1, 2024 through December 31st, 2024.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Supervisor Horstman and seconded by Supervisor Fowler. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries.
If I may make a comment. Make a comment, yeah.
Oh.
I know there's going to be an opportunity for an oath and a photo. Is that right, Madam Chair?
Yes.
And maybe before we get there, I just want to indicate there's a name that I think I saw some signs up of this guy here. So, but I know that he is here with his family, and this is really a wonderful and celebratory day, and just congratulations. I know we'll be congratulating you again soon on this, but we really are looking forward to our relationship with you as our county attorney, and just certainly it's a very good day for Coconino County, and I know you're going to serve us well. So thank you so much.
Okay, at this time, we will
Madam
allow.
Chair,
Yes.
and Alman, I wish I was there. This is Lena. Just want to thank you for all your work, and continued work into the future, working with us. Congratulations, really proud of you. Thank you. And thank you to your family.
Thank you, Supervisor Fowler. Anybody else? Supervisor Hess?
Yeah, it's a big day for the county attorney's office. This is something we discussed at length, and I'm just really proud to be here for both the end and the beginning. So it's a big day for me to watch this happen, and I'm just really proud of both of you. And I look forward to hearing your comments and just seeing you guys work. So I appreciate it. Thank you for all your hard work.
Madam Chair,
Supervisor Fowler?
I want to thank our county attorney, Bill Ring, also for all the years that he's been with us and always working with, has always been there, and really been a great working with him and we'll continue to work with him in another capacity. So really want to thank him. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Fowler. So at this time, we will now have Almond Barker take his oath of office. His wife, Jessica Barker, will swear him in accordingly.
Repeat after me. I, Ammon Barker, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and defend them against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And that I will faithfully and impartially
I do not have the grace minutes.
so help me God.
You can go ahead and make a speech, and thereafter we'll do a photo.
Okay, thank you. This is quite an honor, Madam Chair, members of the board. Thank you so much for this appointment. I don't want to take up too much time, but I do want to just tell a little bit of the story that I think is relevant for today and why I'm here in this position. I think the relevant part begins in 2010 or earlier than that, and when I attended law school at ASU, under the advice of my wife, which is always a good thing to listen to. And it was there that I really came to love the idea of prosecution and protecting the most vulnerable in our communities. And that has been, I think, a calling that I've heeded my entire life. And as it happens, 2010 was not a good year to graduate law school because we were in a deep recession at the time. There was a hiring freeze among all the state agencies that I had already applied for. And there was one spot open in Coconino County for a law clerk position. And this is true. I didn't know anything about Coconino County. In fact, I think it was the first time I'd heard about Coconino County when I applied for it. And the then chief deputy, Mike Lesser, came down to ASU and interviewed me. And he told me, I think I maybe said 10 words during that whole interview because he was just really animated. Everybody who knows Mike Lesser knows how excited he can get. And he told me about this magical place called Coconino County. And I was sold. And I came up with my wife and our then toddler, who is now 16 years old and taller than my wife now. And we began the journey here in Coconino County. About 2 weeks before I took the bar, Mike Lester called me and said, "You got a spot as deputy county attorney if you pass the bar, no pressure." And I passed the bar and I was sworn in as a deputy county attorney in November 2010, one of the greatest moments of my life. And I soon thereafter began prosecuting felony offenses. I had a penchant for it. I loved the work. I think over the 10 or 11 years that I practiced the felony with felony caseloads, I tried 20% of all the felony cases in Coconino County. And then in 2021, Bill Ring gave me the honor of appointing me his chief deputy. And that began another journey for me, where I remember many talks I had with Bill Ring. And I just want to honor him right now and say how lovely it's been to work with him in that capacity. It's been a joy and truly an honor of my life. We had many talks walking around downtown Flagstaff and in his office and coffee shops about how to do the work of the county attorney's office. And both of us agreed that there was so much work we could do to, again, protect the vulnerable people in our community, which isn't just about incarcerating people, but it's also about lifting people up, giving them a chance and assist out of the system. And so we really emphasize treatment courts and diversion programs. And I'm happy to say, you know, with the help of the sheriff and HHS, Kim Musselman, we started the first ever pre-charging diversion program, pathway diversion program in Coconino County history, and with Bill's backing. And so that's been a real honor to be part of that process. I have to say also, and I know we'll get to this in a moment, but not only is it important that we prosecute cases, and that's a big part of what the county attorney's office does, but we provide legal advice to the county government. And it's essential, it's critical that we provide it timely and we give it effectively. And that's a big reason why in a couple items from now, the board will be considering the appointment of Bill Ring as my chief deputy civil attorney. It'll be kind of a full circle moment because that was the position he held when I first met him in our office, and look forward to working with him further. I'm really proud of all that I've been able to accomplish in my career so far. I know there's a lot more to do. There's a lot of work ahead of us. You know, Mike Lester was right that we live in a magical place, Coconino County, where people care about each other, where we believe in public service, where we invest in our communities. I told my staff this the other day that I believe my job is to empower people to flourish. And not just the people in the county attorney's office, but every citizen in Coconino County. I believe that is what we're supposed to do. That's a personal mission of mine. And I believe with the team that we have at the county attorney's office, I can do that as your next county attorney. So thank you for the consideration, the appointment.
Thank you. Photo op. Okay, We're going to move on with the next item. Item number 25, consideration and possible action to authorize Almond Barker's appointment of Michael Tunick as Chief Deputy County Attorney and limiting Mr. Tunick's practice of law that of the county official business.
Madam Chair,
Supervisor Horseman,
at this time, I'd make the motion to authorize Ammon Barker's appointment of Michael Tunick as a Chief Deputy County Attorney and limiting his practice as set forth in the agenda.
Second.
motion made by Supervisor Horseman, second by Supervisor Hess. Any comments by the board?
Just congratulations. Look forward to working with you as well. And I know you've been very active within the county attorney's office, and this just seems like a very natural, probably position for you now to assume. And we're wishing you all the best of luck. We're here. We appreciate your service to Coconino County.
Thank you. Any other comments? Wait.
Why don't we take a vote? Should we have a vote first?
Yeah, we're gonna
Wait,
vote.
I'm too
Yes.
quick. I guess we
So
gotta
there's a
vote.
motion currently, and all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Pose. Staying, motion carries. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. So I'm also familiar with the legal market around 2010. And at that time, the spot that I could find after I got done with the clerkship at the Court of Appeals was in Navajo County. But I gravitated also toward the magical world of Flagstaff and of Coconino County. Lived here, moved up here with my wife, Rose. She got a job with the Coconino County Attorney's Office on the civil side. I drove out to Navajo County. And in that work, I gravitated toward the most vulnerable. I share that value with Ammon, crimes against children. And that's a lot of what my work has been as a prosecutor. And, it's just some of the most rewarding work you can do, is to validate a child who has gone through horrific things and then, go through the process and get justice. And when I look at our office, I see a lot of folks, both on the civil side and the criminal side, who just want to do the right thing, who are very well schooled in the law, who work really hard. And, on the criminal side, want to get justice. On the civil side, want to give really effective advice and really work within this team framework that we have here in the county to make things happen for the community and to help the community. So I'm proud to be in a leadership position in that. I'm proud to work with Ammon Barker and with all of the folks at the county attorney's office. And I thank you for this appointment. I'm excited with what we can do. And the big thing is that we have a great starting point because of Bill Ring. Bill Ring has really built this foundation. People before him certainly as well. But, Bill brought a lot of us together. And he was a great leader to us as we, kind of developed. And we're grateful for what he's passed on. And as Bill says, ever better, we want to build on that. And we want to make it better. And I'm excited where the county can go. Thank you.
Mr. Barker, would you like to make a comment?
Thank you. I've known Michael for 9 years, I think, long time, and trust him with anything. As I've described him to other people, he has a huge heart and a bigger brain. He's exactly who you want on your right hand, and look forward to working with Michael. So thank you for approving this appointment.
Thank you. We're at item number 26. Consideration possible action to authorize Almond Barker's appointment of William Ring as a Chief Civil Deputy County Attorney and limiting Mr. Ring's practice of law to that of the county official business.
If I may. Madam
Yes,
Chair.
go ahead.
I am going to want to make a comment. I'm sure probably everybody from the board's going to want to make some comments, but at this time, I would make a motion to authorize Ammon Barker's appointment of William Ring as the Chief Civil Deputy County Attorney and limiting Mr. Ring's practice of law as set forth in the agenda.
Thank you, Supervisor Horseman. Second.
Second.
Second by Supervisor Hess. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. So we'll go ahead and have people make comments at this time.
Do we want to hear from Bill
Bill?
first and then?
Bill? Bill,
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the Board of Supervisors. I prepared some written comments because I was afraid that I would not
'Cause
be
you're a
able to.
lawyer.
That's right. That's because I'm a lawyer. But I really mean this with sincerity. First, I offer great thanks to this organization. In 24 years of service, I've had the privilege to make great relationships with people and do everything there is to do in the county attorney's office. In short, you gave me the opportunity to sing my song, and I've sung my song. And that is something that really is a privilege. Many people are unable to achieve that in a lifetime. And I've been able to achieve it in my work life under your tutelage and also in service to you all. And who knew that we would be managing through a pandemic? We did that, and we elevated the stature of Coconino County in this state and also in this nation. Every administration that is healthy puts an emphasis upon succession planning. Succession planning for us started in 2017 by building the strongest, most committed county attorney's office in Arizona. We're fully employed, and we have the deepest bench of outstanding division leadership in the state. Ammon Barker, your choice for county attorney successor. Michael Tunick, the successor to the chief of the county attorney's office, but also Brian Shea, our criminal division leader. Jonathan Mosier, our training and education leader, an outstanding trial lawyer, recognized around the state for his achievements. And also Heather Mosier in the civil division of the office. And how did we do that? By emphasizing the many ways in which our work matters. You see, people really want meaningful work, work that has a purpose. But purposeful work can be hard to find. Or it might be said that our work has purpose already if we just see it and we name it. And that's exactly what we've been able to do and have done. Our purpose is pretty simple. When an injustice occurs, we are the people the community relies upon to do what is just and fair and reasoned and complete. We also provide certainty and dependability in the advice we offer to the organization Coconino County and the services that we deliver. There's also a greater and deeper meaning to our work. We strive to provide a safe community and a secure community. When we as individuals and families experience safety in our persons and security in our expectations, we build trust with one another, trust across jurisdictions, trust across nations. And with that trust, we can cooperate together and with confidence. The cooperation is a fundamental principle of democracy and democratic forms of government. We trust that our personal liberties are protected, and because of that, we cooperate together when large common problems need large common solutions. Our office does that for people. We serve others so that together we can thrive and we can prosper. That is the hope that's evident in all the opportunities that together we create. We talk about this all the time in our office. We make it clear why we do the things that we do and why we do it this way and why this way and not that way, because how we do it matters. And because we're clear on our meaning and our purpose, people who have choices about where they can work want to work with us, and they choose the Coconino County Attorney's Office. So we're fully employed now. And we've seized upon the long game opportunity to build a deep bench, which we've done. And I've got to tell you, this is my proudest accomplishment. Having done so, we're implementing a succession plan now. Ammon Barker, of course, is primed to be county attorney, and you've appointed him county attorney. And Michael Tunick is fully capable of fulfilling the chief deputy duties that Ammon will assign to him. And I resigned to become chief of the civil division, a division that I began with in 1989. This is the time, and the board has made the right decisions. A powerful generation of skilled leadership is ready to begin. Succession is inevitable, and it is best served when planned well in advance. So I tendered my resignation in accordance with state law and in accordance with a solid succession plan. And I am glad you have moved forward on this plan. It is done with great respect for you, great respect for this organization, great respect for everyone in this room, and also great respect for the people and citizens of Coconino County and the state of Arizona and Coconino County's place in this remarkable nation. So thank you very much, and I'm happy to answer any questions or provide further comment if you wish.
Thank you. Sound like my professor. I will go ahead. Probably give the floor to Mr. Barker, and then I'll give the time to the board.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. As I mentioned before, it's been an honor to work with Bill in the capacity that he held until a few moments ago as county attorney. And he has all the experience, as the board is well aware, to serve as your counsel, to serve advising county government. You know, some decisions we make in the county attorney's office are hard. This is not a hard decision. This is a no-brainer for us. And this was going to be the outcome in January, but we looked at each other and we thought, let's do it now. Why wait? We have some work to do. I also want to just mention Heather Mosier has served admirably in the role as chief civil. She's going to be moving to a criminal role in our office, and she'll still be with our office. And we look forward to working with her in that role. But I couldn't be happier to have Bill serving in this chief civil spot. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments by the board?
Okay.
Supervisor Horseman.
Yes, of course. I've been first and foremost, you know, it doesn't surprise me. I've known Bill Ring almost since I think he started practicing law here in Coconino County. And it certainly does not surprise me that he has looked to act in the very best interest of this county. I think he is absolutely one of the premier public servants here in Coconino County. And it doesn't surprise me. Once again, he puts county first. And what he says, you're right. How we do it does matter. And I think what we are doing here today and moving things along in the manner in which we are is in the best interest of Coconino County and serves the public and everybody who lives here. You know, I got to just say, as a county attorney, job well done. And, you know, you have led your county attorney's office with fairness, with equity, with compassion, with heart, and always with the rule of law. And I really respect that. I think that it's not what, you know, you've always exemplified the highest values set forth in our Constitution, and you have implemented the rule of law fairly and appropriately. The legacy you have left, the model that you have left for your department is going to go forward, and it's going to enrich that department, and it's going to enrich all of us. So I want to thank you for that. And I am so glad you aren't leaving us. I am very much looking forward to working with you, as I did before as a lawyer in the civil field, and having you as the chief civil deputy for Coconino County is going to be, I think, very helpful for the county and very helpful for this board. So I welcome you in your new position. You probably maybe had a little heart palpitation when you didn't have a job for about 15 minutes. But I'm glad you're back in the employment and back in the service of Coconino County. So thank you, Bill. Thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you, Supervisor Horstman. Supervisor Vasquez, do you have any comments?
Yes, thank you. Just want to congratulate Amin for his appointment and thank Bill Ring for his service. I really appreciate both of you and all you've brought to the county and will continue to bring to the county in these new roles. And I agree with my colleagues. I think this is the right move for Coconino County moving forward, and it's done in a good way. And so congratulations and look forward to working with you moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. I also want to say thank you so much, Amin, Mr. Ring, the sheriff leave. Oh, but anyway, we have had people that are very instrumental in developing programs and being there for the county for a long, long time. They've brought up some their ideas and made that and formed that into in the best interest of the Coconino County as a whole. So I just want to say thank you for all the efforts. And Patrice kind of talked about everything that is true about this appointments that were made today. So I just want to say thank you again so much. Yeah. Supervisor Hess. Oh.
Thank you, Chair. I didn't mean to not go. I was just going to let Geronimo go. And, succession in the military is like the forefront of our mind. We're always worried about succession in command. Who's going to step up? Who's going to lead? And who's going to take over? And that always was your legacy. Your succession shows who you picked and who you trained, and that leaves your legacy. I think you're leaving an amazing legacy. You've had a great career. You're not done yet. We're still going to put you to work. But as the attorney, you've done a great job, and it's evident by by the people who follow you and who you've led. And, that just shows trust in you, first of all, trust that we still want you to stay here, help us, lead us in all things, trust in your office. For you to step away, I could see it in your eyes when we said, hey, all in favor, and we voted for you to step down and take your resignation. That was a tough moment to watch because it's bittersweet and sometimes more bitter than sweet. So very thankful to you, to your career, and to your succession, as you stated, is such an important thing. And your legacy will live on. It will live on, and it is always going to be part of the Coconino County. So I appreciate it. Thank you. And look forward to working closer with you now that you're going to be here helping us out, holding our hand. So thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone. We do have some discussion items. At this time, we have item number 27, presentation and discussion regarding overview of workforce innovation, opportunity, act programs. Okay, I'm going to step back.
Thank you, Chair Begay, members of the board. Excited to get to our Workforce Investment Act conversation, and Billy is here to give a presentation. Before we do that, I'd just like to say a few things on behalf of the county manager's office, and certainly Erica and Kim may want to as well, but I too want to thank Bill Ring for his service. We want to thank Bill Ring for his service. And Bill Ring has been a mentor to me as well. I've known Bill for 25 years now, and I've always looked up to him and admired him. And the connection between the county attorney's office and the county manager's office is oh so important to the county business and the work that we do, that you do as a board, all of our elected officials, and to continue to have that connection is so important. And I'm so proud that we have that. The people have spoken and elected in his primary election, Ammon Barker. And this decision tonight is on the Board of Supervisors' part for Bill to step down is monumental for our organization. And we will continue to move forward in the best way possible. This is an absolutely wonderful succession plan. So thank you so much. And Kim and Erica, if you'd like to say anything.
Thanks, County Manager Bertelson. And I just want to say Also, my appreciation to Bill, as well as Ammon and Michael and all of the county attorney's office. This is really special for me because Ammon and I were talking as he came in, and he's like, "Hey, Kim, you were with the county attorney's office when I came on as a law clerk." And I said, "Yeah, I've watched you grow up and become the county attorney." And Bill had come back to the office when I was there as well in the civil role. And it's great. I'm excited for the opportunity to work again with civil Bill. And and of course with the county attorney's office to continue the great work. So thank you.
Thank you, Chair, members of the board. I also would like to congratulate Ammon and his family for being here. That was such a heartfelt swearing in. Thank you so much for that. Really honored to be here and be a part of that moment. And to Bill, I'd like to thank Bill for his many years of support as an HR professional. I'm so excited about the succession planning, but what I love most of all is that Bill leads with collaboration and trust and heart. And I want to thank you for that.
Anybody else want to speak?
So, yeah.
Lucinda?
Well, Bill and I spent a lot of time dealing with some very challenging issues through a number of disasters over the years. And, you know, I'd had the fortune to have worked with attorneys in my previous careers, and really bar none, he is phenomenal to work with. And he's always been a great partner because he always puts the law in the perspective of what does it mean to our residents? What does it mean to the people? And that's how it gets defined and understood what's important and what are we, you know, staying focused on that goal is to protect people and to bring about, you know, a better community for everyone. And, you know, he's been inspiring and he's a tremendous leader across the county. And glad you're not going very far, Bill, because that leadership is needed, and to continue that role is really important. So thank you for your service and excited to continue to work with you.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and give the floor to Mr. Francis. You're up next. We'll start the time as soon as you get up front.
Chair Begay, while Lindsay is loading Billy's presentation, if I could just make a couple comments as he's getting ready. We're excited to have Billy here to give an overview of our Workforce Investment Opportunity Act and to hear some of the things that he is doing, as well as an opportunity for him to introduce the new vendor for the Title 1B services. So with that being said, we know that we have a partnership and a governance role with the Workforce Investment Act. And so we're pleased to hear from Billy this afternoon.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So good afternoon, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, and Board. I'm here today just to discuss the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, and that's a mouthful within itself, right? And so I'm going to just refer to it as WIOA moving along the line as we go forward. WIOA is a federal law that provides funding and support to help individuals, including those with disabilities, veterans, youth, to gain skill and training needed to find good paying jobs. It is our hope today that as we make this understanding just a little bit clearer of what the role of the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act is in Coconino County, we're going to find more ways to collaborate, more ways to serve every community that makes up our wonderful county. Today, what we're hoping to learn today is just understand the purpose and the objectives of WIOA, give a little bit of background of this federal act and how it's been in our community and how it's been working in our community. Really talk about and discuss just a little bit on what the roles are of the Workforce Development Board and its members, and give an overview of Title 1B programs. The reason why we pointed out Title 1B programs, Title 1B programs in your American Job Center is the heartbeat of your program. All the other partners that tie into your American Job Center, they co-enroll through those programs. And then we'll introduce you to a couple of special guests that we have today, and then we'll try to move forward. The Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act of 2014 is a significant piece of legislation that provides a framework for the public workforce system. It was signed into law with a broad bipartisan support, and it was the first major update to the workforce development policy over 15 years ago. WIOA outlines the vision, goals, and objectives and requirements for how the workforce system should operate, demonstrating its importance in shaping the future of our workforce system. The vision of WIOA is to create more robust and integrated public workforce system that effectively connects job seekers and to available job opportunities within our community. Some of the key aspects of this vision is to improve job options. WIOA seeks to enhance the careers prospects of workers and job seekers in Coconino County and nationwide. Another key aspect is regional economic development. The Act supports the development of strong regional economies where businesses can flourish and individuals can live and work where they desire. So in essence, we're trying to build a population of workforce educated individuals in our community where they can reside anywhere in Coconino County and find opportunities within Coconino County to be self-sustaining. And another one is to build a talent pipeline. WIOA is based on the principles that public workforce systems should foster the development of a talent pipeline that meets the need of businesses and industries. And I hope early on we're seeing the trend that the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act in our community is to build and educate and skill in our population to make them more employable in our community. So on your screen, what we try to do is we'll try to give you an illustration of what a talent pipeline looks like in workforce development. What we're looking to do is we're looking to impact K through 12 students, dislocated workers, or individuals that have been laid off for no fault of their own, veterans in our community, individuals in our community that are changing careers, that individuals that in our community that are working for employers, but they may need to be upskilled or reskilled in their current position to help them to reach that sustainability. When we put them through the pipeline, we're looking to get them assessment. We're looking to evaluate their skills, to give them all the tools necessary in order for when they come out of that pipeline that they can meet the requirements and the needs of our Coconino County employers. WIOA is built on 5 key principles. 1, integrated service delivery. WIOA emphasizes the coordinated approach for workforce development, ensuring that various services and programs work together seamlessly to meet the needs of job seekers and employers. We focus on strategy. The Act encourages the strategic approach to workforce development based on data-driven decisions, making a clear understanding of the labor market needs. Again, we focus on regional economic development. WIOA recognizes the importance of workforce development in driving regional economic growth and supports initiatives that foster collaboration between businesses, education, and workforce development agencies. And we focus on high quality of services. The Act emphasizes that the need for high quality workforce development services, including job trainings, placement, and career counseling. And something that we're really working on and we're trying to become better at, just accountability and transparency. WIOA does promote accountability and transparency in workforce development system, ensuring that the programs are effective and the resources are used efficiently. We believe that achieving these core principles outlined in the WIOA program, if we do all of the core principles as we just discussed, in WIOA, we say that we will reach the hallmark of excellence. And by reaching the hallmarks of excellence, we're going to know that business and job seekers will drive the workforce solution program in our community. The principles emphasize the importance of aligning workforce development efforts with the needs of both business and job seekers in Coconino County. If we're reaching the hallmarks of excellence, excellent customer service and the focus of continuous improvement will be in the forefront of everything that we're doing. Providing high quality personalized service and commitment to ongoing improvements are essential for the success of the workforce development system in Coconino County. And finally, strong regional economies and active in our community and with workforce development, supporting regional economic growth and actively engaging in the community and with workforce development partners are crucial to creating a thriving workforce. Just understanding by diligently implementing the core principles of WIOA, we can create a workforce development system that truly excels in delivering meaningful results for industries and businesses in Coconino County. I put a timeline up here because I like to show the history of the federal workforce programs that have transitioned over time and how it has supported Coconino County. You know, you may look at this slide and you may identify with some of these because you remember it as during your time in Coconino County. Programs like CETA, Manpower, JTPA, more recently WIA, and then the Act of 2014, WIOA. The most recent one was WIA of 1998, emphasized the importance of partnership between businesses, education, and workforce development agencies. And then the most recent one of the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act of 2014 focused on improving jobs and career options for workers and job seekers through an integrated workforce system. All of these workforce programs have played a critical role in helping individuals in Coconino County develop skills and training they need to find employment and contribute to the economy. And when I was doing this presentation, Board of Supervisors, I just realized that it's been 10 years since the reauthorization of WIOA in our community. Now we'll talk about the roles of the Workforce Development Board. I got a list of just a few of our members of our Workforce Development Board, where some of them are here today in the crowd and on the Zoom, and we do appreciate your support today. Our executive committee of our Workforce Development Board chair is Bruce Sobczak, vice chair is Ms. Gail Jackson, and our secretary is Amanda Brasconi. That does make up the executive committee for the Coconino County Workforce Development Board. The purpose of the Workforce Development Board is to be visionaries and conveners of all the local workforce development system stakeholders. That's partners, that's businesses, that's everyone in our community that will lend to the education and expertise of making us a successful workforce development area. The Workforce Development Board focuses on the regional economic development. They focus on the effective approaches of including local and regional sector partners and identifying career pathways. They focus on high quality customer-centered service delivery and a delivery approach. That's important because in Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, we have something called a one-stop center, and that's at 1701 North 4th Street. And that's where individuals in our community go to get the services that we provide under WIOA and from our partners. But the Workforce Development Board is designed to make up a unique brand of individuals. The federal act mandates us to make sure that the Workforce Development Board is built with 51% employers, and that we must have 20% members from labor organization or individuals that deliver some types of workforce services. But it allows us to add additional individuals to our Workforce Development Board that will be faith-based organization, community-based organization that will allow us to bring all of the expertise of our community together on the Workforce Development Board so that we can ensure that we're meeting the needs and the obligations of our employers in our community and our individuals in our community. Some of the other roles of the Workforce Development Board is to establish and plan goals and budget, develop the 4-year plan. If your emails are not too full, you're going to see the local plan come through your emails a couple of days ago, asking you to take a look at the 5-year plan that we did. Hopefully you'll have some time to take a look at that. To negotiate WIA performance measures and goals with the state, and to develop a local budget for the activities that we serve the adult, the youth, and dislocated workers in our community. They're tasked to select the service provider. They're tasked to select the one-stop operator that will serve Coconino County, and they're tasked to serve, to do a competitive process for the youth and adult service provider of Coconino County. They're tasked to look at performance oversight, to look at program and physical oversight for all of our programs and our one-stop operator to ensure that the services that are being mandated is being provided. They're being challenged to drive innovation in programs and operation. They lead the effort at the local level to develop and implement career pathways, and they develop strategies using technology to maximize on the accessibility. And we all know that Coconino County is a large space to cover. So utilizing technology and utilizing artificial intelligence is something that we're going to be looking to utilize and moving forward. Now, just a simple overview of the Title IB program. The Title IB program serves adults and youth in our community. Those adults are 18 years old and older, and a subset of the adult program is the dislocated worker, who are individuals that have been laid off or notified of a layoff at their jobs. The youth program is in-school youth. That's 14 to 24-year-olds and individuals that are low income, and they must have one additional barrier to employment. So that can be incarceration, that can be homelessness, that can be a lot of different things that is serving as a barrier to them being successful. And then we have out-of-school youth. That is 16 to 24 years old. Those individuals must also be low income and have an additional barrier and not in school, and it's not working in our community. That makes up your out-of-school youth program. The funding that we have for 2025 to serve the adults and the youth in our community is shown on the screen above. We're going to use roughly 31% of that allocated amount of a little over $1.5 million to do educational training and work-based learning activities for the youth, adult, and dislocated workers in our community this year. Some of the required services that we must do for the adults, that the 18 years old and older in our community, can be done at the comprehensive one-stop at 1701 North 4th Street, and they must be on our eligible training provider list. For those that don't know, the eligible training provider list, when it comes to training or putting the individual through training, utilizing WIA funds, that training program must be on the eligible training provider list. If that training is not on the eligible training provider list, even if it's an identified training by any population that we're serving, we won't be able to utilize the federal dollars in order to pay for that training. The type of services that we provide for adults are basic career services, individualized career services, and training services. In the middle is identified as the definitions under WIA, and I'm not going to read those to you, but what we do in Coconino County to meet those requirements of the federal government is, for basic career services, we provide computer labs and for job searching, and we provide labor market information so that the individuals that come to our American Job Center can make informed decisions on the degree paths and the training paths that they would like to go on. For the individualized career services, we do, and at the comprehensive one-stop, we do workshop on resumes, we do interview practicing, we do career advising, and we do job matching. So basically, we take the information that they've gained from that labor market information, and we really drill home with it with our case managers and our teams. And then for the training services, we provide training assistance and work-based learning assistance. So when you hear of individuals going to school, attending training, going to truck driving school, being put on work experience, or doing on-the-job training, that is the training component service of our program. Some of the services that are required for the youth. Now, the youth program within WIOA is a little unique because you have to connect as many of the 14 elements to that youth so that you can eliminate as many barriers as you can to help them to be more employable. So we do work preparation, we do paid and unpaid work experience, we do skills training, we do on-the-job training, and we provide information on labor market for these young people to make sure that they're going to school and they're taking informed training to make sure that they're enrolling in high wage, high demand occupations. Some of the educational support we provide to the youth is we do provide tutoring, we do high set or GED preparation, and we do preparation activity for post-secondary education and training. Some of the personal supports we provide for the youth is we do supportive services. We do know that when these youth come to us, they have some barriers that are stopping them from being successful in some of the training that they're trying to go to or the job they're trying to perform on. Supportive services allows us to go in and help eliminate some of those barriers so they can focus on the main thing. We provide comprehensive guidance and counseling and follow-up services. Once these individuals get in our program, whether they're going through their program or their work-based learning opportunity, we do find opportunities to check back in on them to see how they're transitioning through it and seeing if there's any more support that we can provide to them so they can be successful. Some of the enrichment services that we're doing is leadership development and financial literacy education. A requirement of the youth program, if you see the total budget that we showed a couple of slides before, the total youth budget, 75% of the funds have to be spent on out-of-school youth. That's that 18 to 24-year-old that is out of school and that has a barrier. Only 20% can be spent on work experience and 25% can be spent on in-school youth. So of your 100%, 75 has to be spent on out-of-school youth and 25 on in-school youth. So your 14-year-old to 18-year-old that's enrolled in FUSD schools, 25% of your youth budget can be spent on that population of individuals. A few of the services we can provide to adults. We can help them to recruit interns. We can do job skills training for them. We can do customized training for employers. We can do rapid response service for employers. We can do on-the-job training, work experience. But everything that we do for employers under WIOA, it has to benefit the youth and the adult population that we're serving. So understanding that the funding that we utilize for training and the funding that we utilize for work experience, it's connected to the youth or the adult that qualified for the service. So if we do an on-the-job training for any company in Coconino County, it's because that company has decided to hire an individual that qualified for WIOA services, and that funding follows that participant. So it's not because the employer wanted that participant to work and WIOA was helping. It was more because that employer took a chance on an underrepresented individual in our community to give them an opportunity to work. WIOA has some performance measures that we have to monitor every year. We have to focus on measurable skills gains. We have to focus on credential rates. We have to focus on employment 6 months after exit and 12 months after exit. We have to make sure that the trainings that we're putting individuals in, that they're having a medium earning increase in their earnings as they take some of the programs through the WIOA program. And we have to make sure that the employers that we're working with and that we're putting these individuals on through these work-based learning opportunities, that they're satisfied with the results in the individuals that we're sending to them. Because remember, if they're not happy, We can train as many individuals as we want in WIOA. If there's not a company or employer on the outside willing to give them the chance, then we're not really doing a really good job. Some of the key partners under WIOA is Title 1B, that's your adult and youth service provider. That services is going to be provided by Eckerd Connect, where they're going to serve adults, dislocated worker, in school and out of school youth through the Arizona at Work One Stop. Title II is our adult ed and literacy program, and that program is ran through Coconino County, and they help participants earn high school equivalency, and they help immigrants learn English and become citizens. Title III is our state Wagner Prize program, and that's our employment services. They provide job training and job opportunities for individuals coming to the One Stop. And Title IV is, in fact, our voc rehab, and they provide education and training to individuals with disabilities. All righty. So at this time, I'm going to invite, just for a quick invitation, I'm going to ask Mr. Tyson Nussin from CPLC, who serves as our one-stop system operator. So everything that you heard about, all the services that we say that we can perform, Mr. Tyson with CPLC serves as our one-stop operator, and they are responsible for making sure that those services are provided, implemented, and are seamless. After you hear from Mr. Tyson, the next person you'll hear from is Mr. Troy Rowland. He is with Eckerd Connect, and all of the things that we talked about where you can serve adult, dislocated worker, and youth, and all the services, Eckerd Connect will be the one providing those services.
Thank you, Director Francis. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Madam Vice Chair, members of the board. My name is Tyson Knutson. It's a pleasure to be here with you this afternoon. I am the Deputy Director of Workforce Solutions for Chicanos por la Causa, CPLC. We are a nonprofit organization. We've been in Arizona since 1969, helping out almost since the beginning of that time with workforce in different counties, now including Coconino County. As the one-stop operator, and let me mention that our actual one-stop operator, boots on the ground, is Heather Bachicha. She's been in the community for over 20 years. She had a family emergency and was unable to be here with us this afternoon. But as we came into this position, we wanted to make sure that we were finding someone here from the county to be able to work as a one-stop operator, someone who understands the needs of Coconino County. What the one-stop operator does, and some of these things Director Francis has mentioned, but we help coordinate delivery of services. There were a lot of different programs that Director Francis talked about. We help facilitate communications between these different programs. When you have employees from the state, employees from nonprofit organizations, other organizations within the state, it's very difficult at times to be able to coordinate communication and coordinate services with all of these different organizations. So we try to facilitate that as best we can. As one-stop operator, we help to determine the training needs that the different partner program staff may have and figure out where we can find the training for those needs. And it may be found within our system, or we may go outside of our system to be able to find the training that they may need. We work to coordinate referrals. Now, that might not sound like a big thing, but in our old referral system, if I was working from one partner program and I were to send a referral to a different partner program, there was never really a mechanism for follow-up to see if anything had happened with that referral. So there's a new program called Atlas that is rolling out this month of October. And part of that program is we're going to have a closed loop referral system where if I make a referral from one partner program, we will be able to see what happens with that referral all the way through receiving service and even after service is complete. So we can know what happens to these individuals who need help within the county. I mentioned and
Director Francis mentioned the many organizations, and sometimes the organizations are a little bit siloed. What I mean by that is we have staff members from one organization that have policy and procedures that are dictated by their organization. A different organization has different policies and procedures, and we try to help bring all of these different organizations together under that Arizona at Work umbrella and try to work in a manner that will be most beneficial for the job seeker, because as people come into the American Job Center, that they don't really care much about what organization we work for. They just need services. So we try to make that service delivery as accessible and as positive an experience for them as we possibly can. One of the goals of the local workforce development board, and we as the one-stop operator are working to help with this, is to really outreach or provide outreach to rural areas of the county. Through Atlas, there will be kiosks that will be placed in different rural areas of the county where people will be able to have quick access to someone here in Flagstaff that can help them out. And we're hoping that we'll be able to coordinate services. So there's actually face-to-face service as well in some of the more rural parts of the county. As a one-stop operator, we're thinking about quality and we're thinking about quantity. Again, going back to that idea of we want to provide a quality experience for that person who sometimes comes into the American Job Center and are in crisis mode and they need help, and sometimes they don't even know what help is available or what help they might mostly need. And then the quantity part is a lot of people don't know about Arizona at Work. So helping provide a little bit of exposure out into the community so the community members understand what Arizona at Work is all about, and that we can go there, individuals can go there as they are looking for employment. And we, as CPLC, is the one-stop operator, we're just trying to help provide a positive experience for those people as they come in. It really goes back to that individual experience. People come in, and the work that's done in the American Job Center does and can have a positive impact on individuals, on their families, and on the community as a whole. And it's a privilege for us to be a part of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Board. We appreciate the opportunity to be here today. My name is Troy Rowland, Operations Director with Eckerd Connects. We're excited to be on the ground. I'm excited to be on the ground and not in the air, so I'm glad to be here and spend some time in the cooler weather of the wonderful Flagstaff, Coconino area. We're excited, one, to start building and continuing to build on partnerships that have been close relationship to one-stop operator. Matter of fact, tomorrow our whole day is spent just gaining those relationships, building those. How can we utilize the funds most effectively to serve the most people? I'm excited to hear some of the exciting things happening with the attorney's office and with the sheriff's office. So as soon as we become fully staffed, I'm sure there will be some meetings. As we've seen successful reentry programs and diversion programs used with adult dislocated and youth funds across the nation, I'm excited to bring some of those best practices and let's get it done. We're excited to work with the one-stop operator to bring those services to the outlying areas of the county. We have jobs posted in Page, for example, just to try to get some familiarity out there and to be able to track those. If we do great work at the American Job Center and Arizona at Work, we're one partner together. I'll mention something, Billy, kind of the intent of the WIOA law was to tear down silos and for us to be one to where we could braid services and braid funding. And if they don't reauthorize soon, they keep giving us a 10% cut every year. So write your congressman, write your senators, get a hold of workforce development folks to tell them reauthorize. But that was the whole intent. And I believe that I've seen it in action where people can come into the American Job Center and say, I don't know who works for who. And that shouldn't be the citizen's responsibility anyways. They're there to receive services, to receive help, to walk them along their career pathway and get them sector ready. One, to prevent brain drain from Coconino County, We want to keep those experience skills here in the county and build business, to retain business and expand business with economic development. So again, I'm excited to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. We look forward to the partnership. And I'll end with my favorite quote from writer Mark Twain. He said, "The only person that likes change is a wet baby." So as we transition through this, I look forward to working with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And so just to bring you to, and thank you guys. And I would be remiss, Board of Supervisors, if I didn't introduce our team. We do have Ms. Regina Salas with us, who serves as the Assistant Director for the Workforce Development Board. We do have Mr. Stephen Reyna, who serves as the Program Specialist for the Workforce Development Board. And we do have Ms. Yanzi, who's our Administrative Assistant, aka the glue that holds it all together. Just one reminder, we do have the local plan that is out, and that is our plan for the next 5 years that makes sure that we're bringing all the proper services, that we're spending our funding the way that we're supposed to be spending it, to ensure that we're preparing for the jobs of the future and everything that's coming down the pipeline. I would ask that you do take a look at that local plan just to make sure that we've addressed everything that's important to you in your districts, to make sure that we're reaching everyone that needs our assistance. At this time, we'll open it up for any questions.
Supervisor Horstman?
You know, I'm not sure if I've received that yet. So I'm not sure if it went where it went, but I would love to see that. That'd be very helpful. Has anybody seen it? I don't know what happened to it, so it would be nice to track that down. I'd be very interested in taking a look at this. And, you know, I think that, yeah, did you want to respond?
Sorry, Kim.
No, I was sorry,
yeah.
Vice Chair. I was just gonna ask what haven't you seen? I'm sorry, what are we?
The local plan.
The email that you just sent out about, yes, that I will make sure if it wasn't, if you all were not on that, it just came out 2 days ago. I think you sent it Sunday, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that may be helpful for some of the questions that I have. And, you know, just in general, and I, first of all, I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank your staff for being here, and for those that may be online. And I know that some of the your vendors are CPLC. How long have they been part of the workforce development team?
Here in Coconino County, or
Yes,
just over, so a year.
And how about Ecker Connect? Are they?
Their first day today.
All right. Well, welcome on board. It's really great to have you all here. So, and, you know, I think that we as a board, and certainly speaking for myself, you know, certainly understand the role and the need for workforce development and, you know, recruiting, developing, retaining employees and placing employees within our community, not only benefits the individual, the families, and our whole community. And so I think most of us really understand the importance and need of this. And certainly I am a big supporter of workforce development. I can tell you as a supervisor, I get sometimes frustrated because I don't know what role I play as the Board of Supervisors on the workforce development team, the board. You have a great board. I know many of the individuals who are on this board, but you also work under the county as well. And so, you know, I want to know really, I appreciate everything you've said and the importance of this, but I would love to get, and maybe it's in that report that I haven't seen, some numbers. You know, you have the performance measures. These are great performance measures. And I would love to see how these get placed into reality for the people we've served, the businesses that we've, you know, gone out to, done training with, or for employees that we've placed or people we've placed to be employees with these businesses, and really get some numbers. So, and, you know, maybe your board has that, but as a member of the Board of Supervisors, as a member of our community, as someone who believes in the strength and purpose of workforce development, I would like to know how successful we have been. And I'd like to know where the pitfalls are, because everything's got that, and what we can do to overcome those so that we can, and you gave the five, you gave the five elements, and if we do this, we're successful. I don't know if we've done any of them, to be real honest with you. I really don't know. And I want us to be successful. I want you and your staff to basically be the best there is in the state of Arizona. The gold standard is what we try to do here in Coconino County. And we would certainly love to be a part of that and to be part of the team to make that happen. But I don't have enough information. I get the background. And I've been looking at this, and I've been going online reading about it and seeing whether other workforce development boards have done across the state. And I just don't have the facts of what we are really doing. So maybe it's in that report. I'm looking forward to getting it. And quite frankly, I hope that this is the beginning of a ongoing relationship and conversation with the Workforce Development Board. We want to be part of the solution. We want to be a part of a successful program. And I'm not sure how to do that. And I don't know how to measure it at this point, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
And,
Thank you.
and I appreciate, hopefully continuing this dialogue and continuing working together. So thank you, Billy.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Supervisor Horstman. Supervisor Harris.
Thank you. Good presentation. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of, things you're working on. And I really, I appreciate and applaud all of the professionalism and the motivation. I think that's key to getting this going. I think it's going to be really good. I'm a vision guy. I like knowing what the goals and all that. And in your vision, to me, it broke down to the talent, the business, and the future talent. And the talent being the job seekers. And I like, hey, break it down for me. And I really like that. What are we looking for? We're looking at getting people that need help, getting them educated and getting them on the road and getting them working and kind of making sure that they can get those jobs. I appreciate a good, strong vision statement. I think you brought that to me. I really like that we're going with the Atlas. I think that's going to be key. I think that's going to be something to get those numbers as we talked about. Hey, how are we doing? What are we doing? Where can we go? So I think that's going to be a key factor to getting that knowledge. I think we're doing a lot of work, and I think that's going to close the loop, as you stated. Tyson, I'm really interested in those kiosks. And I don't need the answer right now, but our county is huge, as you know, and getting out there outside of Flagstaff, as everyone states all the time, it's one county. And I've got a lot of rural. I'm really interested in seeing where those kiosk locations are, maybe even seeing maybe how that kiosk works. And again, so we can advocate, hey, here's what you do. You need a job. You're a youth that's, got some stopping points. Here's what we can do. Here's where you go. So we can advocate for you. I think those two things, I really think the kiosk locations, like where we're thinking about putting those and how do we get those? And that's going to be city by city, location by location. I understand that. And that's going to be a tough one. And then thank you to Troy for coming out here and joining with this. The more partners we can get to strengthen this, I think is better for the community. And I really think this is something the community is needing. We did that at our last thing at Chef Steel. And, those people were really looking like, whoa, what is this? There was still some confusion. You could see like, you guys are literally going to help me write a resume right now. And you're like, yeah, let's go. Let's get this going. And those guys were you could see the hesitation. And I think that's because, man, we're dealing with people who haven't built resumes in their life, and are scared of bragging about themselves, or maybe they're scared of putting down stuff and not knowing how to make it. So you guys, you're performing a very strong, important part to get these people to the jobs they really deserve and the community needs to fill. So continue to go, and I really appreciate it. And let's go. That's all I got. Thank you.
Supervisor Vasquez.
Thank you for the presentation. No questions at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Billy, for the presentation and sharing a lot of information with us. As you were saying, there were certain years that certain programs came up, and we used a lot of that. Is there somebody's mic on? But anyway, um, so I just want to say that, being partners, having this partnership, is gonna, make it grow. And we have a lot of organizations, departments, and other local, you know, programs that we're really working with, and we're helping one another, to make ends meet, and then also to ensure that all the I's are dotted and all the T's are crossed. So I think I did get your email, and maybe I was supposed to send it out to everybody else, but I saw your name on there recently, so I just want to let you know that. But again, thank you for the presentation. And my colleagues had stated some of the things that they would like to see, and it's just a matter of giving another presentation with numbers, and then plus the kiosks, and more information. We can share that because we focus for the whole county, and we can be your voice out there too, saying these are programs, give us some flyers, let us go out there. I visit all of the 9 chapters with my staff every month. And so we can even talk about it in Navajo, saying this is what's out there. You need this, and this is what and we can educate them too. So that's where I would like to, get really involved with. So thank you so much for the presentation. And it's always nice to have others come before the board, to let us know, because we all learn, every day we learn something new. So I just want to say thank you so much for all the efforts and helping people out there that really, really need, a lift. And I was also at Seifield, and it was nice, that, you were there to help, your staff were there to help. And we had some county staff there, and other people had their tables set up. So that's help, so they appreciate anything, everything. And there's little things that people really remember, about certain programs or other people that really helped them, or even said something to them to really push them, or, to really just be there for them. So I just want to say that. Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
If I can, just real quick, I just got, and I guess you sent it out in your newsletter link. There's a link to it there, so I didn't see that. So I will take a look at it. So thank you.
Go ahead.
Yes, Chair Begay, supervisors. I just also wanted to comment, and certainly based off of Vice Chair's comments regarding kind of understanding and being able to share in the responsibility and how to partner. I am working with County Attorney Ring. We're working on the shared governance agreement for WIOA and for the Board of Supervisors. And so that information will be coming to you in a draft form. And it's for your input so that we can make sure that the things that you are wanting to make sure are part of that are meeting the needs of WIOA and Local Workforce Board, and together making sure that there are the things that are addressed with respect to the federal requirements and the state requirements, but also so that there's some clarification there. So I think we can be looking forward to seeing that here in the coming next couple of weeks or so in terms of draft form, as we want to be able to work with WIOA, Local Workforce Board, and you all.
Thank you. Supervisor Forsman?
Yes, that'd be fabulous. I think you can gather from all of us up here, we want to be partners. We just don't know how. So I think that sounds like a great, the shared governance agreement sounds like a great way to start that, and look forward to getting that further. And I will take a look at the plan. I guess I saw the newsletter, I didn't see the plan, so we'll take a look at that. Thank you.
And Board of Supervisors, we're trying to build a workforce development board that truly serves Coconino County. We're going to do a better job of making sure you understand. I truly enjoyed getting to know Kim a little bit better in our one-on-ones. I'll begin to share some information with her that kind of lays out the roles and responsibilities of every partner. We all want to be held accountable, but we're just trying to build a program that's going to benefit our community and help to connect with some of the strategies of our county. But thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thank you. And make sure you use Mr. Ring.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. We have,
And by the way, I just want to thank the staff for being here. It looks like you're out here in force, and we really appreciate it and really appreciate spending time with us. So thank you.
thank you. Next, we have Government Relations Director Greg Nelson. You have 15 minutes.
I will be more brief than that. So Chair Begay, board members, pleasure to be here with you today. Next week, we do have the CSA Legislative Summit starting in Monday in Pinal County, going through Wednesday, where there's a number of items on the agenda. We did distribute materials over the weekend, and so in the interest of time, I'm happy to answer any questions about the staff recommendations. There's always more research to do, so. But in the interest of time, if there's any questions or anything you want to go in further in depth, we could certainly do that, but we prepared cover sheets. We did send out a update on Monday with some additional information on the UMA proposal as well as the JP salary costs. And so if any other additional information comes forward, we'll provide that in a written update and make sure that you have both a hard copy as well as an electronic, and can certainly set up additional one-on-one meetings. I know we've met on this stuff multiple times now, and we can certainly do that if there's any other questions or concerns from board members about staff recommendations and talking points.
Any questions? Comments?
Just briefly, I unfortunately will be at WIR and therefore will not be making it to the CSA Annual Legislative Summit. And I know my colleagues will be absolutely representing Coconino County in fine form. And I know that as usual, Gregory, you and Keith will do everything you can to keep us up to date, prepared, and ready. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I got the packet with all the tabs. I'm really impressed. You guys are getting there. I really appreciate all the work we've done leading up to this, the one-on-ones that we've had. I feel prepared, and I think when we're down there, I know I can ask you all the questions and get that going. So I really feel prepared, and I think your staff is doing great. So keep it up, Greg, and let's have fun down there.
Thank you, Supervisor Hess. We're certainly there, and we can brief further, and we will be on standby. We'll organize a breakfast the first day and be down there and brief everyone as we head into the summit. Thank you.
Thank you. So next item.
Next item, Chair Begay, members of the board, don't be so quick to sit down, Gregory. We have the federal and state legislature.
Yeah, we just have a quick update on that. Keith has circulated a draft letter for your consideration for board members to sign as it relates to supporting the position and requests from both the Arizona Attorney General's office and the governor's office for a supplemental environmental impact statement or supplemental EIS for the Pinyon Plain mine, given the hydrogeology evolution of science that has occurred in terms of the connectivity between the region's groundwater basin supply aquifers, and so that letter has been circulated, and we're happy to answer any questions on that letter, but it's very consistent with this board's long-term position in advocating for the best use of science and data-informed decision-making, as well as the opposition to the mine itself. So happy to answer any questions on that letter, and that's all we have for today.
Supervisor Horstman?
It was well done, and thank you and Keith for getting that out right away, and really appreciate that. So and appreciate the governor and the attorney general for, quite frankly, carrying the ball forward for us here in Coconino County and all of our partners and indigenous neighbors. So thank you.
Thank you. We got the letter and we signed it, so we just have the other two board members that need to sign it. Thank you so much for the
Thank you, Chair Begay. And that concludes our update. Just real quick, there is a stopgap spending measure that was passed last week. So the federal government is open till December 20th, and we'll be monitoring that and keeping you appraised. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, County Manager.
Thank you, Chair Begay, members of the board. I'll keep this brief in the interest of time. Please note that in terms of quorum postings, we have in Lindsay, you can pull up the planning calendar if you like. If not, I'll just work off of my copy here. Sheriff Driscoll retirement celebration. We have a quorum posting for that on Thursday at 3 o'clock. That is at Wiseman Aviation at the Flagstaff Airport. Also tomorrow night, to note, we have a Health and Human Services open house, I believe at 5 o'clock. I don't believe there's a quorum posting, as I don't believe there will be a quorum, but I just wanted you to note that that will be happening tomorrow night. Also next week, we will have a quorum at the CSA annual meeting, the Legislative Summit. Thank you, Gregory and Keith, for your update. And many of the work we know will be somewhat real time as we dive into those. Well, the UMR proposal on waste tires. Waste tires has been something that counties have been addressing for as long as I've been associated with Coconino County. And then the salaries as well for the JP. So that will be, we anticipate a lively discussion, and we'll be very real time in our analysis and working directly with you. Also, there's a mental health court graduation as well next week. And then our next meeting will return is October 15th. And at that item, the item of note for that one would be an appeal of an approval of a cell tower in the Winona, it's the Winona broadband tower. So in the interest of time, I don't think I'll go any further unless you would like me to, or if you have any questions. So thank you.
The board have any questions, comments? There being none, we'll just go ahead and move on to the next item. County Manager.
Thank you. The next item is administrative matters, communication efforts related to Prop 482. Just real quickly, there is a Health and Human Services open house tomorrow night. In terms of communication for Proposition 482, we had an employee forum yesterday. We called it, I called it the Tiny Desk series, and so we do one again tomorrow night. So, or tomorrow, excuse me, at lunchtime. So that will be fun. And so in terms of communications, we're certainly getting ourselves out there with the educational effort. We're actually preparing right now, real time, an article for the Flagstaff Business News as well. So that is happening right now. Postcards will be mailed out as well. You'll note that publicity pamphlets did arrive. I personally received mine on Friday morning, and so those have gone out. And if you have any questions, please let us know. And with that, I would defer my time for you, the board, for any roundtable items you may have.
Or do you wish to have any discussion of the roundtable items? There being none, it's now 4:55 and this meeting is adjourned.